my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here we go. Back to Pittsburgh. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Bradley will be on the tackle. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
17 yards.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Pass from Jackson complete to Ingram. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. On 3rd down, Jackson dancing to his left. He made Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. There he goes, right side. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with the football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that's a great play for that defensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Let's go now. 51-2 line. 15 line. Get up. Get up. It's free.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Looking for Sanders into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your lead player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson steps away to his left. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Chubb with a first down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
That's caught inside the 20. 33 yards that time. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Domata Peko, the one to get him down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's a guy on his 4th franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Play action. It's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He'll run it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the gun on third down, Jackson buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Well, everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First and 10 at the 46.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson flushed out right. It's caught by Roberts. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. On first down. It's Ingram, and this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 for the 21.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ingram's got the first down and more, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
And wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Here's Watson, forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Pass complete here to Sanders. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up second and 12.
On second and 12, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90 point.
Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards. And the Texans push further out in front.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Jackson being chased out left. He's going to take off with it, and he goes out right around the 39. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Jackson now. Letting one go deep for Roberts. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
57, Mike. Here we go.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A run for Nick Chubb. And an alley to run. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Check, 48, 55. You remember me. Let's go.
Out of the gun, Watson steps away, and he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to them.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Good set.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. That one 28 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. On the ground, it's Chubb. And an alley to run. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
First down, Houston.
We're set. 19. Line 36. Stay
Yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they... And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DeAndre Carter, a touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air as his guys continue to pour it on. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The sack coming from Adrian Claiborne off the edge. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
3 buzz.
Chubb. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And again, it's Chubb. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Chubb, and an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On the carry, it's Chubb, and he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, let's get that ball here. Kill.
They give to Chubb out of the gun.
Next time, son.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards, down to the 10.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
You got nothing. Show it up.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
19, 54. Let's go.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Carter, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to lose yardage here as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson eluding the pressure right. The centers has got it complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll run on 1st down. Ingram, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
It's caught by Jackson. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. From the gun, Jackson. Flush to his right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Fourth down, here's Jackson rolling to his left. That's to his running back, complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big-time play there for the Texans. 58 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll run with Chubb, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The Ravens on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Escaping. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He may try and run for this. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Dancing to his left. And an alley to run. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
He's saying afternoon to forget, absolutely. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. To try again after the sack. Jackson, this one complete to Ingram.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually you're...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. But that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Second and 6 at the 29-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Chubb running right. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 20-yard line. Today's final score, Texans.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Put numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, while I point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ayy, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ayy, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me, cause her lame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him. Ay, ay.